Hi, I'm State Representative Cindy Duchow. People all across the state have reached out to my office about how confusing the first two referendums on the ballot are. As the author of the Constitutional Amendment on bail, I would like to take the opportunity to help you clear up any confusion before Election Day. Why are the questions written this way? The questions were drafted by attorneys at the Nonpartisan Legislative Reference Bureau. LRB has an entire bill drafting manual which details every specific instruction attorneys must follow when crafting the language for bills and resolutions. Why are there two questions? The proposed constitutional amendment contains two distinct issues: serious harm and cash bail. The Wisconsin Constitution requires that if there are multiple amendments submitted to the voters at the same time, they must be submitted in such a manner that the people may vote for or against the amendments separately. What does question 1 do? When placing restrictions on a defendant pre-trial, a judge can only consider serious bodily harm, which is limited to death or risk of death. Question 1 would allow judges to consider serious harm, which is broadened to include more definitions such as grievous bodily harm and mental harm. Right now, a judge cannot prohibit an accused child sex offender from going near a playground or school because the risk of child molestation is not considered serious bodily harm. What does question 2 do? Question 2 allows judges to consider the totality of the circumstances when determining the amount of cash bail for those accused of committing a violent crime. Wisconsin is the only state that limits a judge to a single factor when setting bail: flight risk. Question 2 would allow judges to consider one's previous violent convictions and the safety of the community, in addition to the probability that the defendant will return to court. What if voters approve one question but not the other? If voters approve question 1, judges will be able to consider serious harm when determining non-monetary conditions for release. When setting the amount of cash bail, they will only be able to consider the probability of returning to court. If voters only approve question 2, judges will be able to consider the totality of the circumstances when setting cash bail. They will not be able to consider anything more than risk of death when determining non-monetary conditions for release. Why did I introduce these constitutional amendments? At the end of the day, I brought these changes forward because I believe our current bail system is broken. It does nothing to hold courts or defendants accountable, even when violent offenders commit new crimes. Violent crimes from repeat offenders are on the rise. It's time to make sure judges have all the tools they need to keep our communities safe.